Good day, everyone. I try to create a weekly postage on my YouTube page, so please subscribe for my page and get weekly updates on what I think about the Forex market or basically the market in general. There is a few things that I looked at. One is the fake news that I was telling you about on my Facebook page on Friday, for example, of the Canadian dollar, that the news came out on Forex Factory that was positive, but in reality, it was actually terrible news. A lot of people don't understand it, and there's a lot of fundamentals who don't understand the actual economics behind fundamentals. And for example, Forex Factory shows that there was about 60,000 jobs that was created, but in majority, it was all part-time jobs. And there was about 12,000 people that lost full-time employment. The reason for that is the fact that when you have so much contract workers that are actually employed, that shows that your economy is not stable. One, the reason why you employ, for example, contract workers or part-time workers is because you are not sure of the economy. So if things get worse, it's easy to get rid of them. The other thing is also part-time workers can't basically get a mortgage for a house. They can't buy a car, maybe also on a loan. They can't even take loans and all of those things. So we all know part-time workers, you just get your money and that's it, finished. There's no other benefits towards it. So that is not good for the economy. So obviously the Canadian dollar will not go up when you have so much part-time workers that get employed. And the thing is, these Forex calendars don't say everything behind the scenes. There's a lot of traps. Canada is one of them. Then you have the inflation news that also that is fake. For example, the data is correct. Please, the data is correct, but the reasoning behind it is not correct. So, for example, you have the CPI of Britain. So the CPI of Britain comes out. Only thing that the calendar is saying, if it's green, you buy. If it's red, you sell. So obviously people will follow it. And in reality, it is not so straightforward. Because, for example, your inflation rate, for example, in Britain, there was a lot of times where the inflation rate was good, so which means you will get an interest rate hike. But in reality, the inflation was not good. It came from bad inflation. Now, that is actually a whole massive story to explain of how you get to bad inflation. There's also a lot of things that goes into it. But what I want to express is that these calendars, what they explain, it is not basically the reality. They just say if the thing is green, buy. If the thing is red, then it's bad for the currency. And that's why we have all these brokers that advertise on these calendars, because they know they give you the fake news and people are following the fake news. Now, there's a lot of fundamental traders who say they are fundamental traders, but in reality, they don't understand economics. So please be aware of that. There's a lot. There's Canadian, there's CPI data that's also fake. The Australian news that is also fake. There's quite a lot. But to explain that it normally takes me about a few days to explain for my clients those fake news. But there's also a lot of sites that actually produce good news. On the other one, it is the crude oil. Crude oil for me, that is so high at about $80 a barrel. Oh, that for me, it's a bit also fake. Because what I know, there's a lot of oil in storage in harbors that are sitting on the oceans, that are basically sitting. So how is the oil price so high? It doesn't make sense, because there's a massive oversupply of oil. And the story with Iran, that is nonsense as well, because when the sanctions was lifted from Iran, it was around 2015 there around. 2014, there was already an oil glut. And when Iran comes in, it just pushed the oil more. And it's not that Iran got now lifted out of sanctions and voila, there they produce up to their full optimum. That is nonsense that with the Iran sanctions that has an effect. Yeah, it will, but not so much because Iran didn't produce that much oil. Um, and also Venezuela maybe can play a factor, but still there is a massive supply of oil, and that doesn't reflect the oil price that we see actually in the world. Also, the other thing is, which is quite a phenomenon. Normally, when oil prices or basically commodities in general, they all go in the same directions. When the commodities go up, it goes up. When commodities go down, it goes down. Now, what is funny, oil is the only one that goes up, where you have gold, silver, iron ore, all of those other commodities are going down. Now, that says a lot because that is fictionally high, the oil price. And for that, I don't believe that. I think oil is a sell. If oil reaches $100 a barrel, that would be a surprise. Basically, that would be a surprise. Well, it's already a surprise when you're sitting there. But I think that is also fake. I don't know who's behind that, who's buying the oil up, but that is definitely fake because there is a massive, massive oversupply of oil. And Donald Trump was tweeting about this by saying that oil is all over, supply of oil, but the oil price is going up, and he blamed OPEC for it. Look, OPEC maybe is to be blamed for it. I'm not sure, but that is also fake news. I don't think the oil price is definitely manipulated. That I can say because commodity prices normally all go up in one direction, not one go up and the others go down, because oil creates inflation, and inflation normally push the gold price up, but the gold price goes down and the oil price go up. So that says a lot. That means that is absolutely nonsense. On the last part, the euro, I think the euro will still go down. Look, I've been bearish on the euro since 2014, 2015. How the euro went up is really amazing. But Italy is the biggest risk to the Euro Union or the European Union. Italy is sitting with a massive amount of debt, and they want to expand their deficit even further because of the populist group that just sell nonsense to the people, and now they're voting for them. But Italy is a massive, massive risk because they have a large amount of non-performing loans that they need to solve, and more debt will definitely not help. Definitely not help. I think the euro will still continue to go down. I don't know what will the ECB do around it, which doesn't make sense at all. The ECB, to be honest with you, they've been lying for the last since 2014. I mean, even earlier. I mean, they've been printing money, and it means absolutely nothing for the euro area. And because inflation is still stagnant, especially core inflation is still sitting at around 1% or so. So which means the economy didn't actually grow. So I don't know how the euro went up last year and also now this year, and then it's starting to come down. But I think also the euro will still go down because structurally euro is basically gone. I actually been saying it in my book. I said that the euro is a sitting duck. Basically, I said it in my book, it's a sitting duck. It's supposed to collapse a long time ago. So it's just resemblance itself again. But be aware of the fake news. That is now Forex factoring all these calendars that are there. And then the oil price, which is now the big mystery that everybody talks about. But I definitely oil is manipulated because oil prices is fictionally high. And then the Eurozone, I think the euro will still go down. I don't see any hope for the euro area, especially Italy. Oh gosh, those guys are terrible there. So I think that will go down. But hopefully I will send you guys another YouTube advice for the week and just normal news that I will talk about. So please subscribe for my YouTube channel and you will get my updates every single week. Enjoy the rest of the trading week, and please be aware of the fake news and especially Forex Factory and all these other calendars that are there. Cheers. Have a lovely one.